y'all may say, well, Manny Pacquiao is over with PBC, man. So how the hell? And Terrence Crawford is over at ESPN. So, Manny Pacquiao should go and face Earl Spence Jr. or he should go over and face Danny Garcia. But see, here's the deal. This is the deal. There's figures now in the midst of this situation. They can make it happen. They can make it happen. These figures that I'm talking about, the main glue, and we've been going over this for the last couple of weeks. I've been trying to explain it. At times I've been hitting roadblocks. And one of the videos I did, it was a little too fuzzy. It didn't come out right. But MTK Global, they are the glue. They are the glue. You got to hear me, fight fans. There's a man in the midst of all of this by the name of Mr. Daniel Kinahan. Now, I'll do a quick synopsis. We're not going to get into the weeds on this shit. Daniel Kinahan, said to be allegedly a member of an organized crime faction. Back in 2012, he got the itch to get into boxing. He hooked up with Matthew Macklin. He made MTK Global. You fast forward about 4 years. MTK Global, they're managing fighters in Ireland and in the UK, but on top of that, they want to get into the promotional game. So what do? They put on shows. The problem is that Mr. Kinahan's reputation is not the greatest reputation in the world. So every time they're trying to do something, well, guess what? These events are under threat for one reason or another. 2016 is when the big one happened. They had a fight going down. It was called the Clash of the Clans. It got shot up. Men walked up in there with AK-47s, shot up the weigh-in. So this forced Mr. Kinahan to say, you know what? It's not a smart thing for me to be out here putting my name out on everything and being out here in the public. I'm going to fall back.
This previously recorded, fam.
Sandra Vaughn, who runs MTK Global today, comes in and allegedly buys MTK Global from Matthew Macklin and Mr. Kinahan. Now, it's been said that Sandra Vaughn and Mr. Kinahan, this man right here, go back about 20 years. Word on the curb is she's some sort of puppet, but I don't know. Maybe you do. You know what I'm saying? She says that Mr. Kinahan has nothing to do with MTK Global. The reason she says this is because Bob Arum, about a week or two ago, came out in an interview saying that, oh my God, we got an advisor in the Middle East. His name is Daniel Kinahan, and we are working with him in MTK Global, and boom, boom, boom. And it's cool that Bob is trying to normalize Mr. Kinahan and make him a legitimate businessman, even though Mr. Kinahan cannot come to America because of his past and of his associations, even though he doesn't have a criminal record. But given his associations, the relationship of the American government with the relationship of the Ireland government, they want to keep a good thing going. So they're going to respect the Irish government's wishes and keep Mr. Kinahan out the country.
What's up? What's going on? Salute to the fam. I see y'all pulling on up. Everybody, thumbs up as you pull up. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. We in this joint. I see my brother Monty Brown TV is in the building. Salute to the fam. Monty Brown, my main man, 100 grand, chin smoke in the building. I got fam Bruce Goes and I got Dimitri Cohen in the building. Dimitri Cohen, what's up with the blue suit, fam? Where's your blue suit? There you go. There you go. You've been rolling with me for a minute, man. You know what I'm saying? Salute to everybody out there, man. We up bright and early today to do We Talking Boxing, man. Let me turn this volume down. Hopefully I ain't too loud in y'all ear. We're going to do this early because we got the Super Bowl later, and I'm a football fan. So I got to sit down and catch this, man. I got a whole little event planned. So let's get this real spill out the way. You know what I mean? Now, first off, at the top of the show, let me just say, man, rest in peace. Rest in peace to former heavyweight champion Leon Spinks. We know we lost him to cancer. Another big loss for the fight game. Leon Spinks is all in a lot of our memories. We remember him defeating Muhammad Ali in just his 8th professional fight, just his 8th, fam. Upsetting Muhammad Ali and becoming the undisputed heavyweight champion. And, going on to earn his name. And we lost him. We know his brother Michael Spinks as well. And we lost him, and that's a very unfortunate situation, man. So may he rest in peace. He was a true champion, or should I say may he rest in power. And the boxing world will greatly miss Leon Spinks. You know what I'm saying? Real spill, man. Real spill. All right, y'all. So normally y'all know how we do when we talking boxing. We usually take the light subjects and we move along as we get heavy. This particular episode, fam, we're going to stay on one thing. The reason being, this subject right here is going to pretty much suck up all the air in the room. And I already know what y'all know. Y'all see the title. We going to talk about my main man, Mark Breland, and Bomb Squad. Too much going around out here, and it's time for Mainman Mademan to come out and put all of this crap into perspective all day. All right. Now, independent-minded here. I stand alone. I may stand alone in some of my beliefs on this. I'm keeping it 100. Y'all know I got no borders, so my beliefs go all over the place. I take it where the evidence leads me. Not to what I want to believe, not to what something else or someone else is saying, what I believe. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at this situation, I am about to give you Mainman Mademan's breakdown on this situation. All right? Simple as that. Thumbs up for the homie. Thumbs up. Now, where do I begin? Monty, where do I begin, Monty? I don't even know, bro. It's all over the place, man. There's so many branches on this. All right, let me say this first off at the top. If you are expecting for Mainman Mademan to break down Mark Breland, if you expecting for Mainman Mademan to disrespect Mark Breland, it ain't gonna happen, champ. Ain't gonna happen, Captain. I got nothing but love for Mark Breland. I've told y'all this before. I got nothing against Mark Breland. Total respect. Golden Glove winner, Olympian, world champion. It gets no better than that. The only crown that he missing is pound for pound, and we ain't even tripping off that whole time. So I'm not disrespecting Mark Breland. But here's the thing. As you notice on the opening of the show, I played the MTK Global spiel. Now, I just wanted to show everybody that we've been there, done that. We're months in advance from that. I'm glad to see everyone else catching up. I'm glad to see that MTK Global now is a topic of conversation, because just 9 months ago, when they were laying down the foundations to take over boxing, no one wanted to talk about it. Nobody ain't want to talk about it. When the MTK Global Summit was being broadcasted on every corner, no one wanted to talk about it. And we're going to go there because y'all looking at the wrong person. Y'all looking at Mark Breland. Mark Breland is a pawn in all of this. Who was supposed to be at that MTK Global Summit? You named it, you guessed it, Shelly Finkel. So while we want to make the MTK Global connection to Firon and all of them dudes over there or whatever where Breland went, let's look at Shelly Finkel right there in Deontay Wilder's camp. This is what we're going to do. I'm sick of all of y'all narratives out here. We're going to get to the truth. Ain't going to be no shaming of Mark Breland. It ain't going to be no shaming of Deontay Wilder. We're going to tell it like it is. Y'all looking at the wrong people. There are bigger bosses involved in this. Shelly Finkel was going to be at MTK Global Summit. Shelly Finkel knows Daniel Kinahan. Shelly Finkel rubbed shoulders with everyone, and he was going to be right there in the mix. So if you want to make an MTK Global connection, let's look at Shelly and not Breland. Who works for Shelly? Breland. Who brought Breland into Deontay Wilder's ear? Shelly. Let's not forget these things, fam, while we drifting off the rails here. Now let's go here. What we gonna do? We gonna pull up these statements that was said in these interviews. I caught the 78 Sports TV interview, and I caught the Mark Breland interview. I got my excerpts from it, and I'm gonna deal with the statements that the fighter said. And we're going to put the evidence around their statements. Not what we want to believe, but what they are saying. All right? Rock with the homie. Let's do this. So, first off, let's deal with this one statement right here. About Mark Breland spiking Deontay Wilder's water. And he says, and I quote, "So many people know me. My character speaks for itself. A lot of people know me. Spike the water. If you're looking at tapes, you will never see the water in my hand, basically. Someone else is giving him the water." End quote. He went on and says, and I quote, "Only foolish people come out with stuff like that because it's crazy." End quote. Let's stop right there. First question. First off, what he's saying is facts. Let's not take that away from him. From what I understood, Mark Breland barely touched the bottle of water. You did? It was all JD's, right? But I'm not accusing JD's of nothing either. Here's the thing. why does Mark Breland, when he has every right to defend himself against these allegations? The man's livelihood has been put into jeopardy. The man's reputation has been put into jeopardy by Bomb Squad. And so he has every right to come out and speak his piece, because now you are threatening the way that I make money. We didn't see a lawsuit. We didn't see defamation, which Deontay Wilder ran the risk of in that situation and the Tyson Fury situation. Yes, he ran the risk by running his mouth saying stuff that his fans should only be saying. That's facts. And Mark Breland has every right to defend his reputation. Now, the problem is why did you go to a certain audience to get that out? That's the question. Because Mark Breland don't know nobody. Mark Breland doesn't know who's popping, what podcast, whose YouTube channel should I go to. That ain't what Breland knows. Who told you to go there? Who told you to pick up the phone and call a channel that has a UK-based audience? Who told you that? Riddle me that. Because Breland doesn't know. You telling me that they just reached out to... Breland ain't talked to nobody. He ain't talked to Yahoo Sports, ESPN, Fox Sports, nobody, none of the big wigs. He talks to no one, but he goes to y'all. Who the hell told you to call him, bro? Riddle me that. Where'd you get the number? Or did they contact you? You just check your emails and just happen to see it. I'm sure everybody and their mamas sent you an email for an interview, but you chose them. What's up with that? Who told you to do that? Now, like I said, and it'd be one thing if he went on like a tour. You know how like these politicians do sometime on Sunday mornings? They do like a tour of all of the news shows. That'd have been another thing and maybe made it look a little different. Like, okay, well, he's just going around to different shows and getting his word out there. That's one thing. But you went to them and them only after months of silence. And it got people looking like, yo, why did you go there, bro? A MTK Global affiliated channel. You got an MTK Global affiliated boss, and you just roll over there like that. But the man got a right to defend himself. He has a right to anyone that would listen, for that matter. Anyone that would listen. I'm going to get to the comments in a minute. Salute to Travis Bryan, DMV Love in the building. Salute to your family. I see you, my main Supreme Beast. Boxing Talk is up in this joint. What's up, man? What's goody with you? Monty say, yo, man, let me get a link, my brother. I can cook with you if this is a solid, if this is a solid, I understand. Monty, you see I'm on the StreamYard, Mo. You know what I'm saying? I got to be on the, not the StreamYard. I'm on the OBS joint. So if I was on the StreamYard, that's the only way I can do the link thing. So what I'll do, we'll come back up with this and I'll do it on the StreamYard. You know what I'm saying? I can't do the link thing right now. I should have did it that way. I really should have, man. My bad on that, though. But just, you know how we talking boxing. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man. So he has a right to defend himself. He definitely has a right to defend himself. And Wilder did not have no right to come out with no proof. Now, in Deontay Wilder's case, what I believe that he is doing is he's shooting blindly. I'm going to take you back to when Tupac Shakur got shot. Remember when Tupac got shot, right? And what did Tupac do when he woke up? He blamed everybody around him. Shooting blindly. It was Bad Boy's fault. It was their fault. It was that person's fault. They set me up. He set me up. You don't know. So you shoot blindly. You destroy everything. You shoot blindly. And when I look at Deontay Wilder, I see a man who is confused, shooting blindly, and he is just going by what he sees. He's going by what he sees and what he think he knows. Let's go back to the beginning of this. Remember how all of this started. We've talked so much about gloves and water and all of this stuff, and that we to the point we're so far removed where all of this began. And let's go back to the original. The original was Deontay Wilder in a rematch with Tyson Fury got his trainer, who he told several times, do never to stop a fight, stopping a fight. When outside of the ring, you got one of the Darrell fighters who's a Kronk gym fighter, and we do know that Breland is a former Kronk gym fighter. Well, you got someone out there saying, stop the fight, save our champ, and you stop the fight. When just one fight removed before, my man Deontay Wilder was in the trouble of his life against Luis Ortiz. The trouble of his life. I mean, getting flop. It was just one good punch away. No one thought about throwing in the towel. The thought doesn't even come up. But yet, soon as I get into one of the fights when Sugar Hill gets involved, take in mind, they didn't even stop, nowhere near come close to stopping the first one. But Wilder wasn't really in trouble, but Sugar Hill wasn't involved. So now Sugar Hill's involved, the Kronk gym coach, and you stopping fights. It looks bad. And that's why I think all of this starts right there. And that's where Wilder should have kept it, right there, at least publicly. He could have kept on saying, you know what, bro? I told you never to stop a fight. Now that I'm in a fight with your old gym, you stopping fights. I don't trust you. That would have been more plausible to the public than coming out with spike waters and stuff like that. But I think as it started right there, and it got bigger as social media got involved, certain fan bases, it swelled up to conspiracy levels. And Wilder partaked in it. He didn't have answers. No one was telling him nothing. All he got is his trusted people around him that he says is his homies and his fans. And those are the words that he's going off because right now he's not trusting everyone else. He's shooting blindly. He's going by what he believed the people that he can trust is telling him. And he don't trust Mark Breland. Mark Breland and Deontay Wilder is a business relationship. A business relationship. According to Mark Breland, he says, and I quote, when you win, I win. End quote. Here's another question. Why the hell is Mark Breland broke? I listened to Deontay Wilder over on 78 Sports TV's channel. And he says that he believes that Mark Breland is envious and he's jealous. And he's broke. He's basically accusing him of being broke. And I'm living my life. I got all of this money. Boom, boom, boom. Brought up Mark Breland's medical issue. That's a low blow. Actually, Wilder's went lower than that in the past. He's well on record explaining about Mark Breland's gambling debts. Who are you in debt to, bro? You feel me? Point I'm trying to make to y'all is, why the hell is Breland broke? You've been coaching a world champion for the last 5 years. You've been having him since day one, but the last 5 years, he's been making multi-million-dollar checks. And you broke? Last we heard, Shelly Finkel is the one that's paying him and keeps him on not a per diem or some sort of, income that he gives him every month or whatever like that. That's what came out. Why are you broke? That's the golden question. You mean to tell me Wilder's making money, Dees is making money, Finkel is making money, but Mark Breland is broke, and he's the one that's coaching Deontay Wilder? What the hell is wrong with that picture? What the hell is wrong with that picture? Why are you broke? Now, that's not my business, right? Wilder put that out there. But all I do know is when you want someone around something that's sensitive or is valuable, you run background checks on them, right? They got to get a clearance or whatever like that. And if they owe people, they normally can't get that job because that means they can be baited. They can be, they can be paid off. That can happen. In jobs, you can't work in the bank if you got bad credit, right? You can't work in a government facility if you can't get a certain secret clearance, right? Because they don't trust you. They think that you could be on the take if your shit don't line up. So in Mark Breland's case, can we honestly say there would not be any sort of room for compromise? Why is you broke? Why they keeping Breland broke? Most of the time when you broke, you controlled. When you broke, you controlled. That's why top artists like Michael Jackson, too strong for music. So they got to break him first before they break him. You can't be broken if you're a master of your own future. So in Mark Breland's case, where like a lot of former fighters, he's not doing so well financially, which means there is room for being controlled in one way or another. And these are the things that Deontay Wilder look at. See, put yourself in his shoes. According to Mark Breland, all he got is power. We'll see how far that takes him. That's fair game. That's fair criticism. That's very fair. That's very fair. And I know a lot of Mark Breland's name been dragged through the mud. It's all fair game. His medical information been put out there. His debt's been put out there. This is all fair game. This is all fair game. Now, he says that Wilder has nothing but power. And what? Tell us something we don't know. That's the crazy thing about this interview. We learned nothing new. Tell us something we don't know. Wilder ain't got no power. Wilder managed to become a bronze medalist, a world champion, which reigned for 5 years. So his power has got him a long way, more than 85% of fighters. You know how many fighters don't medal? You know how many fighters sign up and don't become a world champion? So this dude who just got just power, it got him a hell of a long way, and he got millions in the bank all day. That power got him somewhere far, bro. Now, we all knew it as boxing aficionados that eventually that power was going to either be met or with skill. We knew that. But everyone can't get away from that right hand. Matter of fact, only one person has been shown to get away from it. No one else is shown to be able to get away from that right hand. So, yeah, he might only got power. But he also has the skill of the ability to deliver the power shot perfectly each and every time. And that is a skill. And if all he got is power, Mark, what were you doing? See, Mark Breland needs to understand something. One thing you never had over Deontay Wilder is authoritative respect, meaning that he doesn't respect you as an authority figure. Maybe at once upon a time he did, because Wilder said you sat at his table. But he doesn't respect you as an authority figure. Shelly Finkel, as the manager of Deontay Wilder, you didn't notice this? In many years of all of this going on, you didn't notice that these two were not really like that on the same page. You did not notice Mark Breland standing off to himself and not really down with Wilder. You didn't notice a bad chemistry vibe between your fighter and the trainer that you hired. You didn't notice this, Shelly Finkel. What are you doing, bro? Where you been? Okay. Well, I just been out in the Poconos, sitting around eating sardines. Okay. Where the fuck you been, bro? You don't see that your fighter and the trainer ain't on the same page? They not feeling each other right now? What you doing? Oh, you can come out, well, I got Mark. I got Mark. Shelly Finkel, why was Mark Breland on the UK audience shows when everything is so sensitive right now? You got arbitrations going on, playing out in the background with Tyson Fury. This is bad publicity for Deontay Wilder, your fighter, but the trainer that you hired goes over there to a UK audience to make Deontay Wilder look bad while he's in the middle of arbitration. Mr. Manager, Shelly Finkel, what are you doing? You got your trainer giving Deontay Wilder bad vibes out here in the middle of an arbitration. This couldn't have waited till after arbitration. You have no control of this situation at all, Shelly Finkel. Or you just sitting back collecting checks. What are you doing? Okay, you got the affiliations to MTK Global. What are you doing, Shelly? You gave Charles Martin over there and I didn't give him to Deontay Wilder. What are you doing, Shelly? You did not give Deontay Wilder Vladimir Klitschko. What the hell is going on, Shelly? But y'all want to keep looking at Breland, though. Y'all want to keep looking at Breland, though. Breland is just a pawn. Breland has a boss. He is being paid. He's on the payroll, which means he takes orders. Who's giving the orders? No one don't want to go that far, though, right? No one don't want to go that far. Brown on Boxing says Shelly doesn't control Mark no more. Well, that must have been a recent thing. Because up to this point, when we just heard months ago, Shelly Finkel in quotes saying he keeps Mark on a per diem. This was Shelly Finkel. We got Shelly Finkel. I got Shelly Finkel. These are the words. I mean, I got Mark Breland. We got Breland. These are the words of Shelly Finkel. I brought Mark Breland around. So this stops with Shelly. Where you been, Shelly? Shelly be the main dude avoiding cameras. One-line answers. Everything is all right. Everything is okay. We're going to sing Kumbaya, and everyone is going to make a deal. Okay? If you don't shut your Purdue man looking. The point I'm trying to make, y'all, man, is that where the hell is Shelly? Where the hell is Shelly? Y'all acting like Shelly has no control over this now. Shelly is not in control no more. All right. According to Mark Breland, JD's was right there when he got his hands wrapped. So either he is blind or couldn't make out the rest. He's right. 100%. JD's sitting in there looking like the smiley man, laughing at all of the knock-knock jokes. Oh, look at that pretty thing on the wall. Oh, there's the light right there. There's the light. By Tyson Fury over there doing God knows what. Oh, what's going on over here? Oh, that's a pretty picture. That is a beautiful picture. You know, yesterday I seen this thing on TV, right? Yeah, man, it's a new martial arts style. It's called kumquats. While meanwhile, you got Tyson Fury sitting over there like, look at this fool. He ain't even paying me no attention. Hey, man, hey, do me a favor. Give me that brick right there. I'm going to slide this brick in the glove and see if he pays attention. He's right. He's right. He's right. So JD's was in there. But here's the thing. JD's gets a second look. And we're going to get to Deontay Wilder's words. JD's gets a second look because JD's his family. And JD's gets second consideration. That's just the fact of the matter. Y'all could try to spin it all out. How do you write? It's JD's fault. Look, man, you can say it's JD's fault all you want, and it may be JD's fault, and yes, JD's may drop the ball, but JD's gets second consideration because JD's is family. And if JD's did make the mistake, he's family. And Deontay Wilder will have a very hard time within himself, within his head, within his heart to get rid of JD's. We as boxing fans see it as a business, a simple business. He ain't doing the job. He dropped the ball, fire his ass. It don't work like that with family. He's family. He took Wilder in. He put his career on hold for Deontay Wilder. He gave Wilder somewhere to sleep at night. He helped Wilder get trained up and get ready and get prepared. When you in the early days of your career like that, you need a financial backer. Someone. You better listen to these fighters, what they tell you. How they don't have money in their pocket. They need someone to get them. Usually they go to the streets. And the streets usually step in situations like that. But JD's was that one for Deontay Wilder. And y'all just want him to throw JD's away. Don't work that way. He's going to give JD second considerations each and every time. According to Mark Breland, it says, and I quote, that goes to show you how much he knows about boxing. He's saying JD's. Now, Mark Breland was not only kind of critical, trying to be critical of Deontay Wilder, and take in mind, his criticism was real light. Y'all making it like it's the heaviest thing in the world. The shit was light, you know what I'm saying? But he also criticized JD's a lot. And he like, yo, man, y'all looking at me with water. Y'all ain't see no bottles in my hand, but y'all see bottles in his hand. Y'all accusing the man of wrapping his hands or putting stuff in his gloves, yet JD's is sitting right there, but y'all coming at my neck. That's what Breland is saying. Like, even if JD's did something right or wrong, Breland is like, why are you looking at me? I wasn't in the damn room. Why am I being the one scrutinized so heavily? Because you threw the towel in. That's what it all goes back to. And that's when we're going to end up right back there before this video ends. Because you threw the towel in when your homies told you to throw the towel in. But Breland is like, yo, y'all need to be looking at JD's. According to Mark Breland, he says, and I quote, he was okay with everything until he got beat. So I'm going to stop right there. Because he also goes along and says that Deontay Wilder doesn't hit the speed bag. He doesn't hit the heavy bag. He doesn't do no roll work. He doesn't jump rope. And now in this, you're saying that he was okay with everything until he got beat. The question is, were you okay with everything until he got beat? That's the question. Because my thing is, it goes back to this authoritative thing. Every trainer, this is why I love Virgil Hunter, every trainer must have a certain authority over their fighter, and Breland, you had none. You couldn't make Wilder jump rope. You couldn't make Wilder hit the road. You couldn't make Wilder stop messing with his wife in the camp. You couldn't make Wilder hit the speed bag. You had no authoritative control, which means that this was already doomed for failure right there. You had none. So you saying now in this quote that he was okay with everything until he got beat. Were you okay with everything until he got beat? Because I didn't see these quotes ever before from you, Breland. You telling me that Wilder just started doing this? He just started not jumping rope? He just started not hitting the speed bag? Now you feel like you need to come out and talk about it. Where was these corrective actions before? And if you don't got no authoritative control, hey, Shelly, man, look, man. You know, you're my man, and I'll do anything for you. You know this, but this man ain't listening to me. It's like, yo, I get it. He winning. And here's Shelly. Well, what are you talking about? You know, he's winning fights. That's all that matters, okay? Now get your ass in that gym and do what you're told. Yeah, but Shelly, I mean, he ain't listening to me. He ain't paying me no attention. I'm telling him to hit the rope, to hit the road, and he's just looking at me stupid. I'm trying to teach him how to have a jab. I mean, he ain't doing nothing, Shelly. Mark, I'm going to tell you one more time. You sit your dusty ass down and you do what you're told. If he doesn't want to do it, then don't let him do it. Long as he keeps winning. Click. You got no authoritative control, bro. You got none. You got to call somebody, which means that you shouldn't be training that fighter because he ain't receptive to you as you need to be. So were you okay with everything until he got beat, Shelly? Mark. I keep saying Shelly. Mark Breland says, and I quote, "No, he box. He never hits the bag. He don't hit the speed bag. He don't jump rope, and he doesn't hit the speed bag." Okay. You just exploiting the fact that you have no authoritative control. Word on the curb is that Malik Scott got more control in that camp than you. Malik Scott got more control in that camp than you do. Breland is showing up because Shelly is telling him to show up. I want you to keep a track on Deontay, okay? All right. So let's go into some of these Wilder quotes. Before we get on to the Wilder side, let me go through some of y'all comments and see what the fam talking about. Salute to all of y'all, man. Salute to every single body, man. Salute to the family. Master Lee TV. Mark Breland was always suspect because of his boxing career. Yeah. I mean, you can say so. But I thought he had a tremendous boxing career, and I got a lot of respect for Mark Breland. For Ben Media says, listen to the interview, and Breland is jealous of every fighter, not just Wilder. He is jealous of AJ too. Mark Breland is a former fighter. He is going to have a competitive edge. When he looks at some of these fighters, he probably see, oh, I could have took that guy. Oh, if I was just 25 years old, I would dust that guy. You know, it's the fighter in him. The fighter in a person never dies. It always stays young. The person ages, but the fighter never ages in their mind. You know what I'm saying? So in Mark Breland's case, for him to even be criticized, he shouldn't as a trainer, but that's just the fighter in that competitive that's never going to go away. Until the man is 95 years old. It's never going to go away. Why are you worried about Mark Breland's pockets? Because that shows that we're talking about Breland's pockets because it shows if or can he not be led astray. Is there any room to believe that Mark Breland can be led astray? The reason I bring up his pockets is if I just talk about Mark Breland on face value, you'll say he's a respectable person. You'll say he's a great fighter. You'll say that there's nothing that Mark Breland, he's a sweet guy. You listen to he talks humble. His voice is soft. He seems like a guy. You will think that there is no room for compromise. And the main room for compromise, especially when you're dealing with former fighters, is what will they take? Because most of them are hurting financially after the fight game. That's room for compromise. So I wanted to make people know I like Breland and I respect him. He's a great fighter. But as a human being, as a person, There is room for compromise. And we can stop acting like it ain't. You know what I mean? We can stop acting like it ain't. That simple answer you laid out would have avoided all the conspiracy stuff and elevated Wilder's even more as a warrior. He'd be even more must-see TV like Mike out of prison. Facts, fam. Facts, Robert Brown. Facts. Bruce Gold says, this is worse as the world turns, and I'm a boxing fan. Drama. You know what I'm saying? It took him it took him to a 5-year title reign. That Power Brown on boxing, big facts. Robert Brown says Breland just knocked himself as a trainer because how long was he Wilder's trainer and no supposed improvement? Facts. Shot himself in the foot with that. When you criticize that Wilder's not getting no better and he refuses to do things, you are criticizing yourself. You're going to have to take a look in the mirror and say, well, what have I done wrong? Was I not able to reach him? Why was there such a disconnect between me and my fighter? Why am I just going through the simple same motions each and every camp of going there, letting him spar, standing in the ring, let him hit the pads a few times, pop, and then we going about our business. He's going over into the corner with Malik Scott working on game plan. Yet I'm excluded from that conversation. You have no authoritative respect in that gym, which means this is doomed to fail. I got my brother Black Star Sports TV in the building. Salute to the fam. What's up with you, man? Everybody that hear me, man, go check out Black Star. He be having them great panels, great discussions, breaking it all the way down. Salute to your champion. Salute to you, man. Next year, our boys will be playing at this time. Facts with Dak Prescott, bro. And we going back. Next year, our year. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to say that every year no matter what. You know what I mean? One of the most accurate power punches of all time, says Brown on boxing. Absolutely. The ability to deliver power is a skill. You can't do it each and every time and say it's a draw of luck. It's just the right hand. No, he knows how to deliver that right hand on the button each and every time. I think that's a skill. All right, y'all. Let's get into some of the Wilder quotes now. Let's see what Wilder had to say over there on 78 Sports TV's channel. Great interview done by 78. And this is why I'm glad I actually pumped my brakes on this, because I was hoping that this story kind of came full circle and we just didn't have to deal with Breland's side. So it's a good thing that 78 had Wilder come on ASAP after this was all said and done. So let's take some of the excerpts from that. Now, I heard Wilder say this, and I quote, "I had this man around my family, my friends. I fed this dude," end quote. Let's stop right there. That's telling me that at once upon a time, these two were not where they are today. At once upon a time, there was a lot of love between Deontay Wilder and Mark Breland. According to Deontay Wilder, he says that he basically found him. Well, I'm going to say he found him. Shelley appointed him to him. But Mark Breland was hurting financially. Mark Breland needed a job, and he needed someone to help bring him up. And this is why I asked the question of why Deontay Wilder running around saying Breland is broke. If you found him broke, why the hell is he still broke? I don't think he can't be broke. He can't be, bruh. Well, why the hell is he still broke? But he says, I fed this dude, man. He says, and I quote, "You should have been gone a long time ago." So I'm going to stop right there. When you tell somebody they should have been gone a long time ago, there's more to this story that we don't know. This is why I be trying to tell y'all. That's why I try to tell the brother just now. Like, I want to say Mark Breland is this great, humble dude. I do. I don't know him. I got cats I know that if you knew him at face value, you would think that they was the most humblest, nicest person that you have ever seen, man. You'll be like, that dude couldn't hurt a fly. And I'll come back and say, he got like 3 bodies, right? And you'll be like, what? You don't know people. You don't know people, Joe. So I can say that Mark Breland looked like an innocent old guy, and I do respect his fight game, and I will never trash that. But I don't know Mark Breland. You don't know Mark Breland. You don't know who he owes. You don't know his personal. None of us do. And for Deontay Wilder to start off and see this man as family. We were family, bro. That means there had to be some sort of betrayal, something along the way that we just don't know about. The man said, I fed you. Damn. He says that you should have been gone a long time ago. Damn. He says, I've helped plenty of fighters and kept them in their homes. Stop there. Now, this is what I didn't like. I knew what he was trying to do in this portion of the interview. Now, Wilder, you're not going to sit around and play victim around this son bitch. If you think that MainmanMademan going to sit here and say that Deontay Wilder is not playing victim, he is playing victim. And you can miss us with the victim crap. You kicked this off, homeboy. You started this. You did. Now it's, oh, I help people with their homes. I'm such a great guy. I don't bother nobody. I've never hurt nobody. I'm just so innocent. Why is the world picking on me? What have I done to anybody? Shut that shit up. You kick this off, homeboy. You gonna own that shit. You owning that. Now that's between you and your trainer. I'm a fan of the fighter. But you kick this off. Don't run back and try to clean it up now and act like you just, I help people in their homes and people ain't going homeless because of Deontay Wilder. I'm Santa Claus around this joint. Nah, champ, you kick this off. Don't play victim. Everything you said, stand on it, and you are who you are, and you said what you said. We're moving right along. But don't give me this woe is me stuff. Don't give me that, because this all started with Darrell, Breland, and you. And it evolved into you believing the fans and listening to the fans and adopting their narrative and putting it out here to the public and giving it validity. You kicked this off, Bomb Squad. So I don't want to hear about how great you are now and how nice you are after dragging Breland through the mud. No, you're going to stay right there and you're going to own that. You know what I'm saying? You're going to own that. You want to own that. He says that you want to debunk something that we all have the proof and evidence of, end quote. And what he was saying was, when Mark Breland says that it was JD's who held the water in XYZ, well, according to Deontay Wilder, I don't believe JD's had nothing to do with this. I even went to JD's and talked to him about this. And he told me all of the information that he had on this, which was on you. And then I go back and look and do my own research and evidence, and I see you. That's what Deontay Wilder's totally protecting and pushing JD's out of that situation. But here's my thing. You say you have evidence that it ain't D's, but it's you. Yet you have came out with only speculation. Well, he doesn't want to hang around us. Well, he's a little standoffish. Yeah, I get it. You can feel vibes. Well, after the fight was over, he left the locker room fast. He didn't really want to hang around us. He didn't want to be around us. Bro, y'all two clearly don't mess with each other. Why would I want, after the business is over, I'm gone. If me and you ain't cool like that, we don't hang out outside of boxing, according to Deontay Wilder. We have no relationship beyond boxing. Then why the hell am I hanging around you for? Why am I going to sit around and act like me and you like fam or something? Nah, bro, we got this one. I see you next time on business. Call me when you're ready to start camp. I'm out of here. I'm not going to sit around and celebrate with you. But this is what I be trying to tell everybody. I tried to have this conversation the other day, actually, about getting snakes out of your house. If Deontay Wilder felt as though Mark Breland, because he couldn't have just developed these feelings overnight. If you felt as though Mark Breland was a problem to you in your career, you should have got rid of that snake a long time ago. At least in your words, you see him as a snake. I'm not calling him that. But you should have got rid of that a long time. Why would you have somebody in your camp that you think is the ops or you think is from the others? Why? Why are you entertaining it? You couldn't call up Finkel and tell Finkel to Finkel works for you. Finkel, get your man in line or else I'm kicking his ass up out my camp. And if you don't get him in line, I'm kicking your ass up out my camp. And I'll call Al and we'll make this all work out. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you know that y'all two ain't vibing. Because if a trainer and a fighter has no relationship outside of the sport, I can't send you a Christmas present. I can't send you a birthday present. I can't call you up and say, if that relationship doesn't exist, why are you still here? It's doomed for failure. We got to have chemistry. We got to have a relationship. I got to sometimes be able to confide in you and let you know when I'm afraid, what I don't like, what I see in this fighter that might give me problems. He can't go to Mark and do that. If he can't do it, then it was doomed for failure. Then why the hell was he in your house? This is why you need, when you find a snake, you kill it, you chop his head off and get him out of there. If you believe him to be a snake. I don't want people to think that I'm calling him a snake for the millionth time. If you believe that you have a snake in your home, you get him out. You don't let him fester. You don't let him learn. You don't let him slither around and just go in every room in your house and go in your refrigerator and say, oh, you got Kool-Aid up in that joint and you got fruit punch. I want some of that. You don't let him go up into your bedroom and sleep in your big California king bed in your pillow and do. You don't do that because he's learning you just for the moment to bring you down. If you felt that way, Bomb Squad, which I don't know, think Mark Breland. I don't, just a hunch. But I don't know. If you felt that way, you should have did that. You know what I mean? Hip Hop Underworld says, yo, Breland is not a snake, but he does sound like one right now. Yeah, I don't want to call him that. You know what I mean? But it just, a lot of things he's doing is kind of suspect to me. I still want to know who gave him the phone number to go over to the UK audience. A MTK Global affiliated person. The only other person that's MTK Global affiliated in Mark Breland's world is Shelly Finkel. Yes, Shelly Finkel, the man whose name was on the guest list to be at the MTK Global Summit, a meeting of the minds. The meeting of the minds. When y'all say that MTK Global is taking over the sport of boxing, I told y'all this a year ago. Broadcasting companies, promoters, they're involved in everything. I told y'all how Bob Arum acquired Tyson Fury through MTK Global. The deal was, you give me a piece of Tyson Fury, and I give you a piece of ESPN. Now, MTK Global got 32 shows on ESPN Plus every year. That's the deal. That's how Tyson Fury became part of Top Rank. And the only one that's affiliated with all of this crap is Shelly Finkel. Because he was going to be at that summit too. Along with Eddie Hearn, along with Bob Arum, and amongst others. But we looking at Mark Breland. My goodness. My goodness. MTK Global's reach is deep. It's been building for a long time now. Brick by brick by brick. They had one setback, and that is when Bob Arum blabbered his mouth too much and let the world know that Kinahan invited him to the MTK Global Summit. Kinahan was finding the money for, at the time, Terrence Crawford and Pacquiao and the whole Middle East through his connections with KHK. The Saudi company from the princes over there, their sports company. KHK was going to be the ones to pay, make sure that Kinahan, who was advising them, had the money to pay the rest of these guys. Kinahan is still involved in the fight game, but there's nothing that no one can do about it. Why? Because you cannot stop a fighter from paying who he wants to pay. Kinahan may not be MTK Global no more, but he's affiliated. He is technically still that. The way it works is that MTK Global pays the fighter, and the fighter can then pay the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. They can pay anyone that they want, including Mr. Kinahan. And there's nothing that no one can do about it. Those are the facts. Because technically, in the capacity, he's not technically a manager. He's not affiliated with MTK. He's not on the MTK payroll. He's just there. Now y'all want to pick up on this story. And Shelly Finkel was in business with all of them. Now y'all want to pick up on the story. Fuck out of here, man. All right, let's keep on with the Wilder quotes. According to Deontay Wilder, and I quote, "He been envying me, and he been jealous of me." only he knows. We don't know that as boxing fan. I don't know if he envying you, he jealous of you. I do know fighters are competitors, and they always gonna be competitors to their last day. I don't know that, man. That's not our business. That's between Deontay Wilder and Mark Breland. We can speculate on that all we want. If he's envy, if he I don't know. I just don't know. That's your shit. You know what I'm saying? He says that Mark was acting like a bitch. His energy was off. He was acting like he didn't even want to be around. It's the end of my career. Not only, no, I'm going to stop right there. He says he was acting like a bitch and his energy was off. He was acting like he didn't want to be around. And these are all the things that lead into Deontay Wilder formulating his, it got to be Mark Breland thoughts. You don't want to hang with me. You don't want to be around. I don't listen to you. You don't listen to me. We only know each other through Shelly Finkel. I know about your debts. I know about the things that I've done for you in the past. I suspect you. You won't want to hang with me. I mean, you acting like since your homeboys across the hall, the Crunk Gym, you don't know me no more. They come into town, it's like, oh, forget me, huh? You want to hang? You stopping fights when they in town? This is how Wilder is formulating his. He's looking around and seeing what he see. He was quiet for a long time. And that all took him just looking around, seeing how people moving, seeing the circumstances, seeing how everything lined up. And this is my conclusion of it, whether you like it or not. I think it was Mark. Your buddies over there, you know, I ain't never felt like this. You know, he says that it's the end of my career because Mark Breland had went on to say that Wilder's career is over. Now, I'm going to say this right now, and I hope I clear this up now because a lot of people are taking that way out of context. Go back to the interview. This is why I don't trust quotes from the internet world no more. I go and do my own quotes because most of y'all do runoff quotes. It'll be a quote from the beginning of the sentence, and you'll quote that the second half of that with a quote that he said 10 minutes later and put it all together. And he makes it look like one long quote. No, I do my own quotes. I go back and I listen to that part of the interview. What Mark Breland was trying to say was, he's saying Wilder's career is over, as in saying that he was going along the line of saying that me working with Wilder's career is over. He says that he's done and I'm done. Not say yet your Wilder's finished and he's never going to do it. No, he's saying that he was saying that we're done working with each other. Not his career is done. Like his career is done with me dealing with it. I'm doing something else now. But y'all trying to make it like Mark Breland said, oh, Wilder was finished. He's finished. He's never going to win again. He's done. He need to retire. That ain't what he was saying. And I know you detractors out there be so super pressed. Y'all be so pressed. Oh, look at Breland. He kind of. That ain't what he said. He was saying that he was done working with Wilder's career. That's what he was trying to get across. But y'all took that and ran with it, though. You know? Y'all took that and ran with it. He says, he was jealous of me and nothing else. We have no relationship outside of boxing, end quote. Damn. This one was heavy right here. Wilder says the black man was wrong in this shit. You did this to your own kind, end quote. That's how much he believes his conviction. See, this is what I be saying. Y'all can say Wilder wrong. Y'all can say he's missing or he's missing the mark or he shouldn't say this about Breland or he shouldn't say that. But you cannot say that he is not standing strong in his conviction. For him to go that deep, black man, you turned another brother in. I'm a good brother. You screwed over a good brother that help out people. That help you out, and you screw me, yo. He believes this in his convictions. This is why I always try to tell y'all, as a boxing fan, you do not have to agree. As a boxing fan, you are here to see the fight game. You don't got to agree with Wilder's assumptions. You can be critical of Wilder and still love Wilder. You don't have to agree with that. These are his convictions. Everyone is taking on his convictions as if you know for a fact. This is what Wilder believes. Wilder's in the room, not us. We taking on his same feelings for it when we don't know the truth. I love Bomb Squad. I love what he stands for. I love his whole story. But I don't know if you're telling the truth. Mark Breland, same thing. I don't know if none of y'all, you know what I mean? I'm not going to take Wilder's word as fact. But if Wilder believes it, if he, deep in his soul, is convicted by this, and you clearly hear with this statement, the black man was wrong in this shit. You did your own kind. You did this to your own kind. That's deep. That means, dog, it's hands down, he believes this what happened. He believes that he was betrayed. This ain't no act. You might say he off and he wrong, but he is really believing this. And for him to say that, I have no doubt I just don't understand why Wilder ain't asking the question of who you working for. You know that Mark Breland don't got the kind of, I ain't gonna say malice. I wouldn't think he has the malice in his heart and the brains to put a scheme like this together. Like, who are you working for? Why ain't you asking that question? It's more to it, champ. It's more to this story. Damn, that's deep though. And I'll be honest with you. Saying something like that, bruh, I don't know if there's no coming back. Like, you turned in your own kind. Like that, if you ain't want to ruin his reputation, if it ain't enough to ruin his livelihood and to go after his reputation and to say, bro, for you to hit him at the core of, I'm sure, his manhood, I mean, his love for his own people, for you to just put that out there and just break that down, that means you really are convinced, bruh. That's heavy. That's heavy. And it ain't no coming back from that. You put me out there to the world to make me look like some jigaboo. Trying to make me look like some I don't love my race type shit. Like, dog, that's deep to me. And I think Wilder took it to a point of no return with that statement right there. I think so. I don't think there's no coming back. And that was, if Wilder don't have the serious proof, bro, that's fucked. That's foul. That's foul. That's foul. According to Deontay Wilder, if the shoe was on the other foot, they will prosecute me, end quote. And what he was saying about that as far as with this Kinahan situation and the MTK Global situation and the documentaries, and if the shoe was on the other foot and I was connected to all of this garbage, guess what would be happening? I'd be locked away with the key thrown. They throw me under the jail. And I agree with him 100% on that. Absolutely. Now, the media, those who turn a blind eye to this, I don't blame you. I'm not like most of these cats on here. Dog, at the end of the day, you didn't sign up to have your life put in jeopardy for covering a damn story. You see the news coming out of reporters being put under death threats and stuff like that. Look, man, Mr. Reporter, Mr. Mrs. Reporter, that's not boxing to me. I could really give a about that, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? That's not boxing. You got bills, you got a family that you want to go home to every day. You ain't signed up to have death threats. You ain't got to prove no point to nobody in this world. If your life is going to be put in jeopardy for covering the story, you can pass that one. It ain't that serious. It ain't that deep. It ain't boxing. That's for a current affair. That's for the first 48. That's for the other shit like that. But that ain't boxing. That ain't nothing about that story teaching you about a jab. Ain't nothing about that story teaching you how to throw an uppercut in the right way. Ain't nothing about that story teaching you about skill sets. Which fighter has a skill set versus this fighter. All that story is doing is bringing drama into your life. You don't have to cover that story if you don't want to, and you shouldn't feel bad. That's for the powers that be in boxing to figure out. Boxing is so corrupt. There's monsters all over the sport. All over it. So don't let no one pressure you into talking about something that's going to put your life in jeopardy. That is the most dumbest, stupidest thing I've ever heard. Some of y'all fans out here, because I've heard y'all come to me all the time. Yo, man, you going to speak on that? You going to speak on that? No, I'm not. You know why? Because it ain't boxing. All that is some drama stuff that you want to hear a fairy tale story about. When I was telling that story before it became popular, no one cared. No one cared. That little breakdown at the beginning of this video I played, no one cared. No one cared then. Now it's associated with Fury. Now it's on Deontay Wilder. Now everyone can. Man, this shit is just stupid. Don't put yourself in jeopardy trying to please a few ankle biters out here. Don't do it. It ain't worth it. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. You know what I'm saying? Now, but I agree with Deontay Wilder. If the shoe was on the other foot, they prosecute me, man. Which is all facts. According to Deontay Wilder, certain things you hope don't be true because you hear certain things. Man, you did the crime, so man up. End quote. He's all in. He is all in. Well, let's draw some conclusive points on this. Shelly Finkel should have advised against this at the end of the day. Y'all don't like me keep blaming. I'm going to get to y'all comments in a minute. Shelly Finkel should have called up Breland and said, Breland, not right now. I got an arbitration plan out. I don't need public opinion shifting. I don't need attention taken away and putting into a negative light on I don't need this right now with the fight that I'm having with Wilder on this arbitration. And this is not good publicity right now for our fighter. Not just my fighter, but our fighter. Even if you ain't doing business with him no more, you still in business with me. So not right now. Where the hell was Shelly Finkel? Man, he ain't got no control over him no more. Okay, that's new news. No new info was presented here. This is all stuff that we've been talking about for months. We already knew Wilder didn't do road work. That was already been discussed plenty. We already knew he did not accuse Mark Breland. He didn't like Mark Breland. Nothing new under the sun there. Mark Breland said absolutely nothing new. Now, he did say he don't feel like he going to beat Tyson Fury. He'll never beat Tyson Fury or something to that. That's his opinion. But Breland, one thing I noticed got left out of this whole discussion, and this is why I'm about to go to. Yeah, I forgot about this. One thing that was left out that we all forget, and I wish that the host of the show would have asked them. Did Deontay Wilder ever tell you to not throw the towel in? Simple question. And he probably would have said something to the effect of, yeah, he told me that, but I had to, I had to save his life. I just felt I only did what was right. Okay. So that's the violation. Did you betray his trust by doing that? After he told you not to do it and you never thought about doing it before. You don't think that that's betraying his trust, even though you might have saved him. Did your boss give you an order that you disobeyed? And the answer is yes. So y'all can dress this up any way you like. Oh, Breland was right. Oh, Wilder was right. Oh, Wilder was wrong. Oh, Breland was wrong. I don't give a shit. At the core of all of this, he broke protocol. That doesn't change. No matter how many names gets thrown around. He broke protocol. His boss gave him an order that he broke. Regardless, love it or hate it. You broke protocol and you went on your own script. It looks bad that you did this in front of your homeboys. You didn't do this in the Luis Ortiz fight. You didn't do this in the first Tyson Fury fight before Sugar Hill got involved. You never did this when I faced any sort of trouble. I beat a fighter with one arm. One arm. You never thought about ever throwing a towel in until your homeboys are across. It looks bad. It looks bad. So, no new info here, though. Breland deserves his moment to vent after these extreme allegations and his livelihood being compromised. He has more than a right to vent and to defend himself. I just only wish that he would have done it in a manner that it would not been perceived to look as if you're talking to people that does not have, well, I'm not going to say that. It looks as if that you're talking to folks that would be more believing of your story. You know what I mean? And we know you don't got the number. How did they get in contact with you? No one else. Everybody wanted to talk to you. Good Morning America, CNN. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, Jerry Springer. Everybody, but you go there. and it just looks, but he has a right to tell his story and to defend himself. And if his defense gets too strong for Deontay Wilder fans, then you need to tell Wilder to shut his mouth, because you started this. This could have been a simple behind the scenes trainer fighter breakup like we always see. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Hell, Daniel Dubois just changed his trainer. I hear no one talking about it. I hear no one. Daniel Dubois just dropped his trainer, but no one's talking about it. But Deontay Wilder do the same thing in this big shit. This could have been handled behind the scenes. Al Heyman ain't got his hand on this for whatever reason. Shelly Finkel ain't got his hand on this for whatever reason. Everyone's rogue now. This should have been handled behind the scenes. This is nothing more than a trainer change. At the end of the day, when this is all said and done, because we so caught up in this drama that we leaving boxing behind, Wilder must add more to his game, because the power at this level is good. Still there. But you need to now have a plan B. You need to have something to enhance it more. You need to take this opportunity serious. Breland says you got nothing but power, alluding to you being a one-trick pony. I say you're some sort of special. I do believe, though. You medaled. Tyson Fury doesn't even have an Olympic medal. When you medaled, and you became a champion. I believe that you are special. I do. But I also believe that you are now at the level where sometimes you got to add a little bit more to that game. So regardless of all of this going on, Wilder still needs to add on more to that arsenal, whether it be the leg work, the movement, whether it be going down to the body more, which is something I would like to see him do a lot more, working on certain shots to the body, putting himself in position to hit the body properly. These are little things that he can add on. It doesn't have to take a reset just to add on. You know what I mean? And you can't diminish Wilder's special magic. Deontay Wilder can't play victim here. You're not the greatest thing in the world. You did not approach this thing smart. You did this wrong. You should have let the fans dealt with those allegations. You should have handled this behind the scenes, and you should start looking at Shelly Finkel with the side eye. Because remember who brought Breland into your world. And remember who actually has the MTK Global affiliations. Remember these things. Breland broke. I don't understand that. Why is Mark Breland broke? Even if you met him broke, why is he still broke? I don't know too much into that, like I said earlier. But I just find that real funny. And that is room for compromise for anyone to come in there. But why is he broke? Why is everyone around him paid except him, if that's the case, according to Deontay Wilder? If that is the case, why is that the case? Why is that the case? You alluded to gambling debts. Who you owe? Why is that the case? Maybe that's between Breland and Finkel. I don't know. But something ain't right with that. Something ain't right with that. Something ain't right with that. Wilder's firm in his belief, no matter whether we like it or not. He went all the way down to him turning on his own kind. He called Mark the lowest of the low. I've had you at my dinner table. He believes his convictions. Whether you believe him or not, whether you think that he's right or wrong, he knows, or he feels a certain vibe. He's in the environment. And there's something. There's something. At last but not least, if Wilder believes that Mark Breland set him up, if Wilder believes that Mark Breland set him up, which I don't believe, but if Wilder believes that, who paid him? Who sent him? That's what Wilder need to find out. There's a bigger villain there. If you believe that Mark Breland did all of these things, there is a bigger villain. Because Breland is a pawn. Who's the villain? Do you think it's somebody from Kronk Jim reached across to him? Or do you think it's Shelly? Who do you think it is? It ain't just Mark. And it is what it is, man. This is a stupid story, man. It's just pissing me off. Let me get to the comments. You know what I'm saying? This is, people always stop at the pawns, bro. Like there's a deeper story. Mark Breland, even though I'm taking your mind, this is just Wilder's point of view. I don't think Breland did nothing wrong, personally, other than throwing that towel in was a little suspect for me. I will say that. But when we going down spike waters and all that, that's Wilder's conviction. That's Wilder's conviction. But at the end of the day, man, I hope this doesn't hurt Mark Breland too much going forward. Y'all could have just did this behind the scenes, broke free, and went about your business. And I really hope that this doesn't hurt Mark Breland after Wilder. Let me get to the comments. I'm going to scroll back some. DGO says you also don't know Wilder. Big facts, DGO. Big facts. And that's why I say that's his convictions. People, I don't like to see boxing fans, uploaders, whatever, taking on another fighter's conviction that you don't know. I love Bomb Squad. I'm rocking with them all day, hoping for the trilogy fight. I think my man gonna get back on his feet all day, but I draw lines. And I'm like, you, Mr. Fighter, this is the fight game. I judge a fighter on my knowledge of the entire fight game, not my knowledge on just you. We know how boxing moves. So I can't believe your word 100, and I can't believe his word 100. All I can say is both of y'all sound like a bunch of crybabies right now. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got bigger fish to fry, and y'all frying each other. That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? You don't know Wilder either. You can go off what people have said. Nothing bad has been ever said about Breland before the loss. That's true. Nothing else was said bad about Wilder, other than from other fighters. That's facts. You know what I'm saying? That's facts. I suspect both Mark Breland and JD's of their separate involvement in this mess. Don't know if JD's may even been in on. Who knows? Money talks, BS walks. Man, y'all know this statement. Money talks. This is boxing. Money is everything in boxing. Money, cash is king in boxing. Always know that, man. Now, all I know is we can sit back and say, yeah, we don't know Wilder. We don't know this, and that's true. That's true. But let's talk about what we do know. And what we do know is Tyson Fury affiliated with mob bosses. What we do know as facts, okay? Not as speculation, because everything that we just said about Breland and Wilder, whether we don't know that person, let's talk about what we do know. I got a farmer missing. Where is he at? Has anybody seen the farmer? Has anybody seen him? I got a farmer missing. So I got missing people. I got crazy looking gloves in previous fights. I got a cocaine abuser, right? Well, let's talk about what we do know. I got a dude coming on camera, Danny, my boy. Yeah. Bigging up mob bosses. I got a fighter that doesn't have a license in the UK, has his license taken away because he was about to be put under investigation for false witnesses. So let's talk. Those are the things that we do know, right? Yet, where's the second thought on that side of the fence? Where's the second thought? That's what I do know. Never heard Deontay Wilder ever taking a PED. PED. Never heard Deontay Wilder ever having glove accusations in previous fights. Nothing. Never heard of Deontay Wilder being affiliated with gangs and stuff like that. Always hear the man quoting Bible scriptures. Got the man talking about his people in positive lights, George Floyd doing poems and wanting to be a trailblazer for a cause. Those are the things that we do know. So do y'all really want to talk about what we know and don't know? Or do y'all want to talk about what we do know? Because it seems to me no one's interested in talking about the things we do know. No one's never interested in that. Everyone wants to be interested in their own ideas. Schinkel, I like that name. Schinkel was the only reason Breland was in his camp as long as he was. If he look at his training camps and vids, JD's was doing 95% of the training and coaching during media days. That's facts. That's fact. And Malik Scott, you can throw Malik Scott in there. I heard there's another name in there too. But at the end of the day, you're right. Shelly Finkel was the one that brought Breland around. And like I say, everything that always kind of semi goes left for Deontay Wilder throughout his career, it can always be pointed back to Shelly Finkel. From the Klitschko thing to the Charles Martin thing to you name it. It can always go back to Finkel. Who's affiliated with MTK Global, since people want to bring that in? It's Shelly Finkel. No one wants to look at Finkel, but we looking at Breland. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. It could have been Breland that backstabbed Wilder, or it could have been JD's. Both of them definitely qualify as backstabbers. You don't know, bro. This is boxing. That's why boxing is what it is. But all I know is Wilder is convinced. You know what I'm saying? I think Wilder just wanted to do things his way. Breland was trying to get him to work on things his way. JD's feed Wilder's ego and let him do things his way. I think JD's is family. I think JD's is the one that Deontay Wilder attributes a lot of getting him on his feet and changing his life, bringing a better life to his daughter and to his family. And he gives a lot of that credit to JD's for a lot of the things that he did early on in his career. Now, like I said before, money talks, cash is king. Boxing is corrupted and dirty. Brother will stab brother in boxing. You know, brother will fight brother in boxing for the right price. So, you know, we just got to go off what was leaking out to us. Wilder also contradicts the same point when he says that Breland was close to his family. Which one is it? That's what I was saying. It looks to me that they started out as a one way. And as time progressed on, they ended up another kind of way. Now, Mark Breland said something in his interview that was interesting. He said, yo, pretty much Wilder's being a sore loser and you was fine with everything until you lost. You know what I'm saying? There it seems to me, maybe from both sides, that both was happy and content on what was the program. As long as they were winning, everybody was content with the way things were. They were all happy with the status quo. They were happy with Breland coming in on whenever he came in and Wilder working with that coach and hitting the pads with this guy and won't do road work. Everyone was cool. Shelly doing what Shelly do. Oh, if anyone needs me, I'll be at the Smithsonian Museum looking at the new 2021 ant farms. Okay? You know what I mean? Shelly doing what Shelly do. Everybody was cool with the status quo until Wilder lost. And then all hell breaking loose. There's a crime scene going on. And the only one who ain't at the crime scene, the only one that's over there looking at popsicle stick houses, is Mr. Shelly Finkel. Nowhere to be found. Don't got a fingerprint on nothing, right, Shelly? Y'all don't see it, man. I still think JD's got paid well, yo. Something don't seem right with that guy. Could be. I don't deny that. We don't know what the financial structure is in that camp. You don't know who getting paid what. You don't know who owed what. You know what I mean? None of us don't know stuff like that because we just worried about the fight game. Wilder thought his power would always carry him through. George Foreman was the same way with his team. Yeah, sometimes you just got to meet that right opponent to make you make adjustments. See, and another thing that people need to understand is, see, a lot of you UK fans, to my UK brethren, much love to y'all. But y'all have this mentality in y'all to give up fast. And I ain't trying to be funny when I say that, but y'all give up too fast. I remember when Anthony Joshua lost. All y'all turned y'all back on him. Oh, Andy Ruiz was terrible for him. His style, no, he should not fight him in the rematch. He should go take a soft touch. Y'all were flocking and jumping off the Joshua ship in multitudes. Y'all give up too easy. I was sitting here like, yo, no. All AJ needed to do is exactly what he did in the first fight. Just watch out for the temple shot. It was one punch. It was a punch from the gods. Nah, man. It's Andy Ruiz is all wrong for him. He should give it up. There's no reason to do it. It's going to look worse in the second fight. Y'all did not even give the man time to think and adjust. And then he came back better than ever. Well, Deontay Wilder's making an adjustment. This is the catch-22 that Wilder's in. If he doesn't make an adjustment, people going to say he was too ego-driven and he thought he was just so good that he didn't have to do anything. And if he loses, he should have changed coaches. He didn't make any changes. He did nothing. When he kicked Mark Breland ass to the curb, now people, that was stupid. He got rid of the best person in his camp. He got rid of the only person that was thinking about him. He's the only one that had his best interests at heart. This doesn't make any sort of sense. So it's damn if you do and damn if you don't. I'm only saying let Wilder make his adjustment. Whatever he feels as though is the right adjustment. Let him make it. And then let him come back in the third fight and see if his adjustment worked. It's a simple thing. Not, don't let him make no adjustments. He just firing people for no reason. No. Mark Breland taught him nothing. Mark Breland did nothing for Deontay Wilder. Wilder's patience, that's all. That's the only thing really different I've seen in Deontay Wilder. It's the same Wilder for the most part, which means that something got to be done. So it is what it is. They are saying Breland's financial situation motivated him to sabotage Wilder. I read somewhere that Breland was conservative with his money and invested well. What I've heard was Shelly Finkel's in charge of all that. Shelly Finkel was in charge of placing Breland's money in the right places and doing the right things for him to ensure that he had income coming in every month and stuff like that. That was always Shelly Finkel's department, from what we've always heard. So we'll see. Breland just speaking from a bitter, hurt place. Just like when things go bad with your ex, a bitter woman will say anything about it. It might be some truth, but it's a lot of exaggeration. That's a great analogy, Alfonso. That's a great analogy, and I can agree with that 100%. There's a lot of pain on both sides. A lot of stuff just flying on both sides. A lot of thirsty media out here. A lot of thirsty people that just want to capitalize on every little controversy. But you're right. You're right. Is it probably a bit of exaggeration on both sides? A lot of pain, a lot of hurt, a lot of confusion. Deontay Wilder is very confused. He's shooting blindly, I think. And I think only thing he needs to be focused on at this point is getting better and worrying about the arbitration. You know, this ship is sailed. It's gone. I wish Mark Breland nothing but the best. I am not one of those dudes who's sitting here going to say that Mark Breland shouldn't be picked up or no one should work with. That's the most dumb thing I've ever. I wish Mark Breland nothing but the best and success. He stood with Wilder quietly, might I add. He never opened his mouth for years. 4 years. He just came up, he showed up for work, he did his job, and he went home and never said a word to nobody for years. Only to this point. So I ain't got nothing bad to say. Breland never looked to expose Wilder all of this time. No. Breland just like, I don't know if someone paid him. I just think that he's the wrong dude to look at. And if you look at Breland, then you need to look at who pays him. Stallion says, Wilder said during the fight that they were looking for Breland, and he wasn't around most of the time, looking suspicious. What if JD's set that part up? Man, I don't know. I don't know. And that's just could be paranoia on Wilder's part. I don't know, man. Those are Wilder's convictions. We wasn't in that room. I don't know. The one coincidence that I just can't get around, and there's nobody from either side of the water, no uploader, no one, whatever argument you come with, has yet to convince me. The one thing that no one is like, everyone is forgetting, why out of all fights, the second that Breland is across from the Crunk gym, he then all of a sudden stopping fights. When I got Crunk gym fighters in the audience yelling at Breland to stop the fight, and he did it. That is the one thing, I don't care who you like and you don't like, you can't even answer that. Well, yeah, that's just a coincidence, man. It just so happens to be that they were there. It just so happens to be. That's something that no one will be able to explain to me. Because I seen a Luis Ortiz fight when Wilder could barely stand on his feet. I tried to tell y'all this in the early days. That's, to me, the focal point. Why are you stopping fights now? Main man, I have proof that Breland has been hating on Wilder. In 2017 to 2018, on Laugh at First Sight Media, Breland did an interview on there where he was dissing Wilder and saying that he wasn't all that. Oh man, I gotta check that out, fam. I'll look into that one, man. Never heard Breland really say anything bad about Wilder over the years, man. Never really heard that. Wow. Wilder wants a yes man. Why would Breland be around and you not listening? Why would Breland be around and you not listening? Wilder wants a yes man. Fighters' egos do get inflated. I'm not going to sit here and act like they don't. Fighters get ego trip heavy. They ego trip a lot, especially if you've been on top for so many years and everyone's around you is calling you a king and you're the greatest. So, yes, egos can be easily inflated in the fight game. I will admit. But I mean, as far as Wilder wanting a bunch of yes men, I can't get into that. If Wilder gets the same results with the new trainer, it's not Breland. Facts. Or he waited too late to make the change. One or the other. People use hating too loosely. Correction. Right instruction. Truth about your lack of technique is not hating. No. But it does show that you have not been able to reach and teach. You know what I mean? Which tells a lot about you. When you can't reach and teach, then why was any other fighter want to work with you? You ain't been able to reach that man. Or maybe they could say, well, Wilder just refused to listen. He's a hardhead. He's a knucklehead. He just don't want to listen to nobody. That could be the case too. See, I'm not, like I said, man, I'm not going to act like I know how this man really is. You know what I mean? Y'all, people be doing that too much. Like I said, something big is going on in boxing, and a lot of money is involved, y'all. A Stallion, I can tell you what the big thing is. It's called MTK Global and their takeover of the sport. Y'all better look at how many networks. I just did a story the other day. Here we go again. See, this is what I be saying. Y'all really don't want to learn nothing for real. Y'all really don't want to learn. Y'all want to come up with after the controversy is a case. When I try to tell people, the other day, something unprecedented happened, and it just went under everyone's noses, involving MTK Global. And that is the fact that they won the purse bid for Kid Galahad versus Jazza Dickens. Y'all might say that's not a big deal. That is a big deal. Because now MTK Global are now promoters. They were a fighting management outfit. Now they're promoting fighters. They just won the purse bid, and they were the only promoter that applied. So now, if you got a problem with MTK Global and all of the fighters that they got under their control, let's see how much of a problem you have with it when they get into the promotional game. And we'll see a year from now when everyone wakes up and says, oh my God, when did MTK Global get into the promotional game? When they told Al Heyman for years, he'd been sued, that he could not manage and promote fighters because of the Muhammad Ali Act. Yet I see them doing it. I don't see nobody talking about it. So when you say something big is happening in boxing, my friend, something big has been happening in boxing. The only thing that slowed this down was the pandemic. And they couldn't do the meeting of the minds. But I'm sure that they're having stuff behind the scenes. That's what's the big thing in boxing. You know what I mean? I've been talking about it for about a year. Plain and simple, Wilder needs to work with Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather. If he can learn from those two styles, he would gain 10 times more to his arsenal. I agree. Those are good trainers, man. That would be good things to help him incorporate some movement, power up his legs a little more. Even nurture his patience, that patience that he got going for him now. Fighters like that will nurture that patience. You know what I'm saying? Robert Brown says, Wilder's attacking on all fronts when it comes to Breland, but someone higher up is pulling the strings on both. The timing of all of this is suspect when Breland has been silent until now. You know what, Robert? For you to say that, brother, that's just the general, what you just said in that comment is the general point, that if you got nothing away from this live stream, that I want everybody to walk away with, that there is a higher authority on this. It ain't Breland. It's someone else. Breland is a pawn or soldier in all of this. So if my words then got jumbled up throughout of this live stream and it was hard for y'all to walk away with a message, The one thing you got to walk away with is who is paying Breland. Who is the real one pulling the strings behind all this? Who wants to get bad publicity on Deontay Wilder at a time like now? Huh? You telling me Mark Breland picked up the phone on his own or checked his emails, happened to see one from Spencer Fearon and Tunde Ajay and say, you know what, I'm just going to talk to them. You believe that if you want. And then Mark Breland is the one that's suffering the collateral damage from all this. His reputation being drugged through the mud. When there's a higher power. Facts, Robert Brown, facts. No respect in the camp, strained relationship, money issues, and debt, plus envy and jealousy, all has the elements for something foul. Not accusing, but people have done more dirt for less. Man, that was nothing but facts. Nothing but facts. My brother, hip-hop underworld, blue suit. I don't know what's going on with these blue suits, man. Yo. Hold on, fam. I'm just assigning most of y'all who I knew had them. I'm just assigning y'all to get them again. Oh, man, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. There go my brother right there, P. Newell. What's up, champion? What's up, man? My main man. Salute to my brother, P. Newell, man. What's up, Holmes? You know, we just talking this real spill, man. You already know. You already know. Much love, man. Wilder needs to learn real combination punching while coming forward. From Mike Tyson, especially if Wilder is fighting somebody a lot taller than him. I actually prefer Wilder to learn fight better going backwards, man. When he gets pushed back on his heels, man, he ain't digging in for that power shot no more. And that power shot lose a lot of pepper when he going backwards. So he needs to work on getting that right distancing and that right spacing, planting and swinging, and making it all one motion if he could. You know what I mean? Those are some of the things I think he can work on. I wish I could sit down and talk to Wilder. I could teach him so much. Yeah, we late in the game, man. My man Wilder, 32, 33 years old. He up there, man. We late in the game. You know what I mean? And Wilder is who Wilder is at this point. You know, we could bring in a new coach. I'm always down for that, but I'm expecting Wilder to be who Wilder is. I just want to see little, small enhancements, a stronger leg, a stronger core, like I say, knowledge of fighting going backwards, little stuff like that, more body work, like to see him hitting downstairs more, setting up the right shots for that body work, putting himself in position to do good body work. Those are some of the things. Those are just small little add-ons. Not make him into a mobile fighter. Like not do what AJ did. AJ totally revamped his style for the rematch against Andy Ruiz. And I ain't knocking it. It worked. But at the end of the day, I don't want to see Wilder going all the way to the drawing board like that. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. Blue suits, what's that? Yeah, blue suits is moderators. You know what I'm saying? Moderators. May not be a conspiracy. It may just be the way it is, says Edward Stevens. All day. That may just be the way it is. Unfortunately, this is nothing more, nothing less than an ugly, dirty trainer change. I'll leave the rest of the uploaders up to this. I've already given my piece on this. I've already talked about this in the past before, truth be told, but this is the first time we've ever talked about it with both sides laying their case down. You know what I mean? So I'm going to leave it there. I'm done with this. You know what I'm saying? I'm done with this. Made man, bitch. I just killed this shit. Much love to the fam. Thumbs up on the way out if you did not hit it on the way in. I catch up with y'all real soon. Yo, man, enjoy the fight tonight. The game tonight, man. Super Bowl Sunday. I'm rocking with Brady to make history tonight, man. I think Brady and them winning that joint tonight, man. You know what I mean? Real spill, man. Real spill. Much love to y'all all. Much love to the supporters. Much love to everyone that support Mainman Mademan. I will be stepping it up heavy this week on the live streams. So rock out with me. Normally when we talking boxing, we do the whole show. So I owe y'all a show. And damn it, I'm going to give y'all that show within the next day or two. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to run through a bunch of different topics pertaining to the sport of boxing. But this particular issue I knew was going to suck up all the air in the room because this is Bomb Squad. You know what I'm saying? And this is a big issue. And Mr. Promoter, Bob Arum, Bob Arum and Frank Warren, you got this scandalous ass story, hyped up all the crap, Glovegate, all the makings of a big event. if you can make the event. Why are y'all running over there to AJ when he can handle Usyk? When you got such a drama field as the world turns, you know what I'm saying? What is it? All My Children, WWE, big ball of shit right here. Right here. That could be promoted like crazy. That's I always tell people. One thing that Glovegate is good for is that it hypes the event up for a trilogy. What the hell are y'all looking at? MTK Global and the big bag of money. Thumbs up on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. Much love to the fam. I see y'all real soon. And until the next one, man.